Hey, what's up, guys? We're at Back to Basics, episode 11. We're going to be talking about defending the full Warp Gate Rush PvP today. We're going to be talking about using force fields to cut the opponent's army in half, making it much easier to defend. And we're also going to be discussing how to tech while producing enough units to defend. There's a very fine line between producing enough units and still not completely foregoing your tech or forgetting to build probes just so you have enough units to defend. Let's get right into this replay here. So PvP on Kulas Ravine. Again, another great map to do this 4 Warp Gate Rush on. There's really not many maps that 4 Gate Rush isn't good on at the lower levels because it's very hard to defend if you don't know what you're doing. But I'm gonna show you here today how pretty simple it is to stop any type of all-in rush like this. So you see early on I'm just building probes, mining. Start my first pylon on 9 completely standard, and I'm scouting. Scouting 9 is definitely better than scouting on your gateway, I'd say, just because your probe will get to their base before they've even decided what tech they're going, and you'll definitely see what tech they're going, and they won't have any units out to chase you around. Notice I send my probe to scout these Zelnaga towers. That's very, very key to do. Every single time I scout the 2 Zelnaga towers, and I was able to see his probe. So I know that I was thinking he was probably here, just because of where his probe was at, but I'm not quite sure. So I decided to check here first because he could have scouted across or something. There's my early gateway. Pretty standard timing. We'll see if I scout him. Yep, and it looks like he's throwing down his gateway just about the same time I have, so we're both going to have a pretty equal probe count at this point. Start my first assimilator here. Notice I'm not going 2-gate on this map. It's not very good to go 2-gate on a map like Kulas Ravine simply for the fact the positions are just so far away that it makes the 2-gate so weak because they can defend it fairly easily. It still can work occasionally to catch your opponent off guard, but I would not recommend it as an every game strategy by any means. Getting gas on my assimilator, continuing to build probes for my pylon. I'm going to be throwing up a cybernetic core very, very quickly. I want to stay up in tech with him. Part of the defending the Warp Gate Rush, the 4 Gate Rush, is to get your cybernetic core at the same time as they do, so then you can start your Warp Gate at the same time they do, so they don't have any advantage in the units. Because even if they start their 4 Gate just a little bit sooner than you, they can have so many units in your base to overwhelm you. Another key thing I will notice I kept the probe with his probe the entire time. That is very, very key to do. Right when he gets a probe in your base, you should have a probe following his probe around. Not only because you possibly could kill it, because he can't throw down any proxies without you seeing it. That's something that a lot of players don't do, and I stress and stress and stress. You want to keep a probe with their probe, so he can't proxy you and you not know about it. Proxy a pylon, obviously, by the way. So I see a second gateway, and I see a core. The second gateway definitely inclines me to think that he's on some type of 4-gate push. So I'm just going to be defending it fairly effectively. I'm sending out a second scout probe, by the way. I love to scout early, always scout. And notice I'm scouting all these proxy positions because I'm just thinking he's got to be trying some 4-gate push. I'm just assuming he is because of his build. Now the way to defend it is I like to go 3 gateway stalker. This will get you enough stalkers to defend it, as long as you get a little sentry support. Notice I throw down my second gateway, and I'll be throwing down my 3rd gateway soon after. Now I'm scouting all the other proxy positions. It's always key to scout the different places he could build his proxy pylon, like behind these bushes, behind this mineral patch. Just all these places you want to send your zealot so you know if he's doing it. So yeah, I throw down my 3rd gateway, and then I'm continuing to produce pylons here. Next is going to come some sentries. The sentries are so huge in defending this push. You need the sentries to force field your ramp to be able to cut his army, so he only gets like half of his army in your base. You're able to kill one half of his army, just demolish it, and then he sends a second wave in. You're continuing to warp in new units, and you're able to kill the second half of his army. This is the best way to allow you to stop his push with less units than what he has. Because since he is going full warp gate, he's going to have more units than you unless you micro better or you know, force field effectively. So that's kind of the key there. Now I am warp gating in, and you did see him try to proxy that pylon there, but I was right on top of it. I had this probe here. Saw him move his probe there, and I was able to kill it very, very quickly. Now I see him sending the stalkers, and this is definitely a full warp gate rush. Bring in the probe, bring in the stalkers. That's definitely what's going on with this. But notice I have the force field, and I'm warping in units. And I am chrono boosting my gateways. Another key thing is to chrono boost your warp gates so you can build units faster. But anyways, so I can pretty much force field my ramp here, and not allow him to get his whole army in. He finally comes and scouts the probe and picks it off, but I was able to get a really nice look at his army. It looked like mainly stalkers, and then you was warping and more zealots. No, it doesn't really matter what he goes. You should go mainly stalkers with just a few zealots for support and a few sentries for support. I'd say 4 sentries, 5 sentries max, 3-4 zealots, and then the rest just stalkers. So yeah, here he comes moving in. I force field my ramp. Just double force field right away. That was probably a little premature. I could have probably let the zealots in, but this is fine here. Alright, force field again. Okay, notice the micro tactics here. I don't let him even get any shots off with his stalkers behind the force fields. I force field the ramp, and then I immediately pull back so I can just target these units that are on my side of the base. If I were to keep them in range of the stalkers still, the force fields would be worthless. The key is to pull back from the force fields so your stalkers can get maximum damage. That's the thing a lot of new players don't realize they have to do. And now I'm just waiting for my force field to finish. And I do have an immoral out now. Notice I was teching. I did throw down a robotics, and I was able to get a robotics out and an immoral out while he's just doing a full warp gate rush. This is because I was able to slow down his rush with forces, obviously, and defend it quite easily. Once you get that immoral out, it's pretty much over. And he just leaves the game because you have the tech advantage, which is so huge. Alright, so that's one way to defend the full warp gate rush. We'll probably have a couple more ways in the future here. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.